besties, it's your girl Catherine. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well. Today's video, I am going to be showing you guys tips, tricks, how to start a project Use It Up. I've had so many questions about project Use It Up, how to pick out items for your project, how many items I should have in my project. I have been doing a project Use It Up since fall 2020, and I have a lot of good tips and tricks for you guys. But here's the thing, I didn't very well much plan this out because with how my brain works, I definitely have so many things I want to say, but it might be a little bit out of order. So definitely watch this whole video if you can. I'm also gonna show you guys what I kind of do whenever I want to start a project and how the behind the scenes works when you guys normally see like me doing a project Use It Up video. I show you guys like everything, but I feel like the behind the scenes part of it is not considered as much, even though it takes a lot of time to like figure out, okay, this is what I want to use for the next blah 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 months or so. Before we get started, I want to talk to you guys about what a project Use It Up is. So if you're not familiar with a project Use It Up, it's very similar to Project Pan with what the makeup beauty guru community does on YouTube. They pick out a product, let's say a blush, and their goal is to use it within the year. So their goal is to try to use this up as many times as they can, and their intention is to use it up. Now, same for like the body care hygiene community. I know a lot of people have been doing so many more project Use It Ups. I'm so happy to see it. There wasn't that many people that did project Use It Ups back in 2020. I remember Ashley Nicole did, and also Heights Vicky. Love them both so much. They really inspired me to do a project Use It Up in the first place, and then it started blowing up, and there's so many other creators now for hygiene body care that do it. So definitely look up some project Use It Up videos. They're so interesting to watch. A project Use It Up is basically giving yourself a time period of how many products you want to finish up within whatever your preference is. Now, a lot of people do monthly project Use It Ups, and they will kind of like roll things in their project and roll things out as well. There have been a lot of seasonal project Use It Ups, which I love to do because I'm a seasonal fragrance wearer. Like right now, I have been getting into the fall vibes. So there's 3 months, there's also like 6 month or yearly. It really depends on what you want for your project. And that's the best thing about project Use It Up, because it's your project and you can do whatever you want in it and set your own rules and guidelines for it. It's definitely a challenge, but you also want to make it fun so you don't get too bored of your products. So when I start a project, I look through my collection. So we're gonna do that right now. Gonna take you guys to the body care closet, which I honestly keep saying that it's under renovation for the last 3 to 4 months, and it definitely still is. Hopefully, maybe I am going to keep myself accountable to actually organize it and then film it, but we'll see about that. It's a little chaotic in here, but it's fine. I'm human. Well, before a new season starts, I like to go through my entire collection. Here is my little section of fragrance mist. I will go through every single one of them and see what I'm in the mood for. Sometimes I do, I'll forget like a fragrance that I do have in here. Look, I have warm vanilla sugar. I have some right here. But I'll go through all of it and then I will reorganize it to the fragrances up here that I think would be so good for the fall time. For example, I have Sugar Cherry Crisp. Sugar Cherry Crisp is such an amazing fragrance for the fall. This was out in 2020. Then also have Midnight Amber Glow. This is a new bestie in the collection. And then I will rotate my fragrances to the top so it'll be easier to figure out. I do like to go through a period of time where I do use my products organically through my collection. So I have like a 2-3 week hiatus of a project Use It Up, but definitely do that with how you will want to. So I have up here some products that I have been using the last 2 weeks in a little shoe organizer. These right up here will be my top contenders for a project Use It Up. This right here is probably one of the oldest lotions I have from Bath & Body Works. I got this in the fall of 2020, and you can tell when a product was made. So the 0 means 2020, and the 188 is the 180th day that it was made. So this is definitely a high contender of something that might be in my fall project use it up. We'll see, but I do highly recommend to go through your products that you have bought within like the last year and a half. If you just got into it, you can start using your products organically with the new products you have. But if you start collecting a lot of body care, it definitely takes a toll. You kind of push things to the back and you kind of forget about them. And the thing is with this, the lotions start to turn color. Some of them do, but this one is getting to the 2-year mark. So I highly emphasize to grab a couple of older products and try to go through them, specifically with whatever season that you're into. If you wear body care with whatever season it is, you do you, bestie. But for me, I don't think I see myself wearing, you know, white pumpkin and chai during the springtime or marshmallow pumpkin latte during the hotter months. So these are definitely kind of contenders for project use it up, especially during this moment. But this product actually is relatively new. I just bought this and I have been using this like religiously. It's so good. It looks like I haven't used it at all, but I have used it a couple of times and it's so delicious. But because it's newer, I am trying to take into consideration maybe I can hold on to this for another year, or grab a product that is very similar. This right here is the Trader Joe's pumpkin body butter. Look at this, you guys. I bought this last year and this is all I have left. I should put this in the project just so I can get it out of the collection and be done with it. So definitely take in consideration with like products that are very similar to each other in your collection and see what needs to go first. Let's say for the contenders of the project use it up, you want to put all of these products in and then you want to put all these products in as well. And that might be a little bit overwhelming for some people. The more products you put in, the more variety you get. But also, the less products you put in, the more likely chance you will have of getting sick of a fragrance and then probably not ever wear it again after you put it in a project is very much high as well. What I like to do and what I have told myself is that I have strawberry pound cake in the fine fragrance mist and also in the lotion. I'm so tired of it. I don't want to use this anymore. So I will switch it out the mist. And even though the fragrance mist right here, for example, coconut candy apple, is not in my collection, I'm still using this lotion, but I'm pairing it with a different mist on top. So either way, you are getting some progress of a product without feeling too guilty that you're not using a fragrance or a product that's not in your collection. You definitely want to match things on top and kind of change it up a little bit, because one of the most important things I want to say is that you will sometimes get really tired of wearing a fragrance that you have worn way too much within your time period of your fragrance. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to get burnt out of your project use it up. So in order to minimize that, I lay out all of the contenders in my project use it up on my bed, on the floor, and I have a grasp of how many products that I think that I can go through within that certain time period with what I want to do. So let's say this, my last project use it up in the summer, I did a 1.5 month long project use it up, and I was able to get 13 out of 15 products done in my collection, and that's amazing. And the thing is that I know for a fact that I can get at least more than 3/4 of my project used up. But at the end of it, you guys, I did end up using all 15, so we're good there. But anyways, now that I know that I was able to go through 6 lotions, 6 fine fragrance mists, and 3 body washes within that 1.5 month project, because I'm doing this next project for 2.5 months, mid-September to the end of November, I am able to add more products in and challenge myself a tiny bit more. So if I wanted to make it a little bit easier, the minimum I would do is 30, but if I want to challenge myself a tiny bit more, I can add a couple of extras just to play it a little bit harder for me, and so then I can also have a little bit more variety and be content that I actually did end up using these very specific niche fragrances during this season. Okay, so here's a visual example of what I just explained. I have all the fragrances that I want to use throughout this project use it up, but ideally, let's be honest here, your girl cannot finish 20 body sprays within 2.5 months. That's a lot of sprays. But I know for a fact that I can finish 6 body sprays within a 1.5 months. So then I can pick maybe 10 to challenge myself. But for example, I'm just gonna pick 6 right now. And that's gonna be my goal for the next 2.5 months, is to finish 6. Whenever I decide this, I think about the season changing or whatever the weather is feeling like and whatever I actually want to use up. So for example, there is white tea and sage. I don't see myself being able to finish that one just because it's such a strong medicinal fragrance, but I do see myself wearing it at least like 2 or 3 times within like this certain season. Rather than me trying to go through the whole entire bottle of white tea and sage, I'm just going to take a couple of days off from Project Use It Up within the 2.5 months and use that fragrance. So that is going to be taken out. And let's say here I have the tiniest bit left of Margarita Cupcake. I've had this product since last year and it's maybe time to go. So I do sometimes consider the length of how long I have had a product, but mostly I don't because I do go through fragrance mist very quickly. So this is going to be a fragrance mist that I'm going to keep and consider within the project. Now, I do want to recommend for you guys to at least wear a fragrance 3 times before you put it in a project, because here's the thing, your body reacts to fragrance differently. Your chemistry, it goes a little different, okay, than what you smell in the cap or just through the air. So personally for me, I haven't worn Midnight Amber Glow more than 3 times, so I'm not going to put that in my project because what if I end up hating it, okay? So I'm gonna take that out because I don't want to force myself to use a product which I might not end up liking in the future. And you might consider and asking, why do you have a fragrance that you might not like in your collection? It's kind of like trial and error, you guys. Whenever you wear a fragrance, you know how like people buy little testers of expensive perfume to consider to buy a big bottle? It's kind of like that. Yeah, okay. I believe my oldest fine fragrance mist in here is Cashmere Glow. This was made in 2020. And this, even though it would be so perfect for this season, I am not really in a rush to use it. And here's the thing, fine fragrance mists have a very long shelf life. But for example, let's say I had a Cashmere Glow body cream. This would be probably one of the first things to be put inside my Project Use It Up, because the last thing I want to do is waste my hard-earned money and have a body product go bad. But even though I do see myself wanting to use this product, I don't see myself having the urge to use it up so much to the point where I finish it. All right, so here are the 6 that I picked out for our hypothetical Project Use It Up. I do want to share with you guys that is very important whenever you do pick out products for the next couple of months for your project to have a variety of fragrances. You might pick out 6 gourmands and then start getting sick of gourmands unless you are a gourmand lover, but sometimes you need to change the pace up. So have a sweet berry fragrance, have a light citrus fragrance here and there, have a nice airy fragrance, have a nice gourmand there, and have something a little bit nice and like deep and sexy for when you're going out. Have a variety, because if you just do this, if you just want to pick out products that you only want to use up, you will start getting sick of it, and then you'll be like, okay, wow, I picked all gourmands and I didn't pick any type of fresh or nice different fragrance, airy fragrance, and I'm stuck with these 4 for the next month, and then you'll quit and then it gets canceled. Your Project Use It Up is a fail, maybe, whatever. But give yourself a variety of fragrances that will keep you continuing your project. I definitely recommend to do that. It's very important. And here's the thing as well, if you were to pick 6 products and you get tired of it, there's nothing wrong with grabbing something from your collection over here to use, okay guys? Because the goal at the end of the day is to use up your product. You can line up with a Sharpie and maybe before you begin a Project Use It Up, have like a little goal marker right here and see where you can go through that within the next couple of months for your project. Moving on, one thing that helps me keep organized for a Project Use It Up, especially because I do go through a lot of body care, is to create a Google sheet of all of the products that will be in my Project Use It Up, and then I categorize it through lotion, fragrance mist, shower gel, body scrub, all the categories you can think of, and then I'll write it down, and then I will have a different highlight color for each month that I finish a product. So let's say I finished up a body lotion, and so I will highlight that specific body lotion that I finished in the shade of color of that month, and I will know that I finished it up. This definitely helps me be less stressed about what I put in my project. But also, I will say the shoe organizer, if you have something, put all of your products where you can visibly see them. It helps so much. I will say that if you keep them in like a little container and you have it all lined up, I low-key don't really like doing that because it makes me not see all the products that I have the option to choose. So definitely display them. You can probably display them in your room or in your bathroom just so you can visibly see what's in your project. And I don't want to overwhelm you guys. I feel like that idea might be a little overwhelming, but it might be something that will help you to like remember to use up those products. Take all of this with a grain of salt because at the end of the day, with a project Use It Up, use your intuition with what you want to use. I have been obsessed with marshmallow pumpkin latte as of right now, so I can see myself using a whole thing of marshmallow pumpkin latte and the fine fragrance mist and a body lotion, and I would put that in the project. So even though if you have like an itch for fragrance, I definitely recommend before you start a project Use It Up, wear the fragrance before that project and see if you can imagine yourself wearing that fragrance consistently within the next couple of months. I also want to say that if your project at the end didn't turn out the way you want it to be, don't get frustrated. It's definitely a trial and error. You want to succeed in your project, but you also don't want to punish yourself for not finishing the products. I had a huge feeling of that kind of momentum that I am like on this pedestal of, oh my gosh, I need to finish this up, or if I don't, then I'm a failure. Don't correlate a failed project as a failure, because at the end of the day, you ended up using up your product, and progress is what matters at the end of the day. Don't punish yourself for not finishing up a product. Now, personally for me, whenever I do a project Use It Up, I don't really consider a no buy or a low buy. I kind of just like finish up a product, and if I'm in the mood to buy something, let's say a store is having a sale for $4.95 lotions, I will go and see online if there's anything that I actually want. I'll go into my collection first to see if there's anything similar to that, and if there's nothing, then I'll buy it. But if it's like new and you guys want to like know my thoughts and opinions on a fragrance, I'll get it and then I'll review it for you guys to let you guys know like what the tea is. But most of the time, if it's like a person who doesn't like broadcast their project Use It Ups, I would probably only buy things that in the moment in the season that I know for sure that I will use throughout that season. So I have done like a no buy before. It was a huge fail. I bought a whole bunch of stuff instead of doing a no buy. So don't restrain yourself from not buying. I know a lot of people talk about like one in, one out, or if you use 2 products, you can do 1 product out, and it has helped for a lot of people. But personally for me, I don't limit myself with how much I buy, but I do get a little bit anxious, and this is what makes me not buy too much. So before you buy like a whole bunch of products, think about moving all those products to a different state or to a different country, and you're just like, whoa, that's way too much. So that's what helps me to limit myself, because I did recently move as well, to not buy too much, but then also to be proud of like continuously using up my products, because as I said before, they will expire, they will go bad, and you'll throw your money down the drain. So that is everything that I have to start a project Use It Up. Some tips and tricks for you guys. I hope you guys find this video helpful if you are starting a project Use It Up soon. And it's really fun. I love the project Use It Up community. We really hype each other up to get through the product. Yeah, that is everything. If you have any other questions for me about project Use It Ups, any questions about that kind of thing, leave them in the comments down below. If you guys have any tips, please leave them down below so new people can see that as well. I love a good project Use It Up, and I can't wait to show you guys my upcoming fall project Use It Up. So that is everything. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope this video helped, and hopefully I will see you in my next one, maybe. All right, bye guys.